But this one might have been the hardest, maybe because of the amount of quality players they have and also the structure they play in. So it was we had to fight really hard to bring this over the line, that's clear.
We don't like drop points, we don't like lose game, but if you have to choose the way, probably this is the way. The team came here, tried to control the game, dominate for most part of the game. We play in their side, in their half, and I think the performance was fantastic.
To come to their home and play like this, it just shows personality, we know. We know we have a young group, and to come here and do this exhibition, it's not many teams that do this kind of stuff. So we will continue to work to improve and to win the next game already.
We knew after the last international break we let ourselves down here against Nottingham Forest, and we knew we didn't perform to the way we did, and we got punished, and rightly so. So we were keen to put that right and not make the same mistakes this time. So I think we've done that, and it's such an important win to get us back into the groove of things.
I think what we did really well is we defended so strong and with the whole team, so there was incredible work rate, and the game became difficult for us because there were a few decisions, at least in my opinion, that didn't went for us. But we stepped up again, scored the goal, and in the end it was a lot of hard work and a lot of dedication, and that's what we did really well.
Both managers and sets of players sort of seem to take positives out of that. What did you make of the game?
I would say that as a manager, I like it to see the interviews. You don't have the chance to do it when you are in the games. But I think both managers, they summarize what you are expecting from them for the rest of the season. So Maresca is talking about we had possession, we were playing on their own pitch. And Neto was saying the same. That is fine, they are proud because they have the possession. But I think Slot was saying the right thing for me, when you want to win titles, he was saying we have balance, we defend well, and they are a threat in attack. So they are top of the league because they are attacking and they are defending really well. They have balance, but he is common sense when he's talking, and the way that he was talking, and also when they were talking about international break, we were talking about that before. When you have experience and you play at the international level, especially with the South American players coming, it's crucial to win the game in one way or another way. They did, like a team that is very competitive, they know what they have to do, and they have the right mentality to stay at the top of the table.
And they had the player of the match in the midfield in Curtis Jones, who gave an all-round, very impressive performance.
Yeah, we were talking about players, but the reality is that you see we talk about long balls, second balls. He's going for the second ball, he's holding the ball, dribbling players. So he showed here quality and character, to do what he's doing. Here we can see he's the same situation. So he's close to the second ball, he's going forward, and he's finding the right pass, and he's making the run. That is sometimes very difficult to run behind defenders. Obviously, the Chelsea fan will say that it's not a penalty. The Liverpool fan will say that it's a penalty. He's kicking him. He's going a little bit late on the floor, but you have to upset that. And here again, going forward, here the main thing is the timing. It was composure and then the timing to pass the ball to take the advantage. I like this one, especially I am always looking for a midfielder that he needs to understand what is going on around him. He's watching behind, he can see the space. Liverpool is 3 against 3 under pressure. He goes to the wide areas, away from the two holding midfielders. He finds the space and he goes forward. He cannot, he goes back, keep the ball and pass and keep moving. That is also really important, and he keeps the ball for the team. And again, it's just be sure that he goes forward. He's out of position now, away from the ball, but still, it's the timing of the runs. So see, they are asking for the ball both. And now he can see the space. He's running behind and he leaves a lot of space for Gakpo. That is what you have to do. It's for you or it's for him. Obviously here, I think he was waiting and he was trying to keep the balance, and after, obviously, it was no penalty. And again, he's finding his space. You see, he's going to both sides of the midfielders. And now you see the change of pace. That is the timing to get into the box. And after he finished with the right foot, that was quite difficult. Here again, we can see on the floor, tackling, using the body, be strong, and then he got a fault for the team. So great job, doing a fantastic job today, and he deserved the applauding of the fans, and everybody was happy.
Yeah.
Do you know, for me as well, it's good timing with Tuchel being England manager, isn't it, when Curtis Jones is now starting to perform. It's always a sign for players. New England manager comes in, want to have a good performance.
Well, and it's another option, isn't it? It's another option.
Well, he's played a lot of games for the 21s, and he's shown today that both aspects of his midfield player are top-notch. And it's going to give Slot a headache now because McAllister's fit again. So, but a nice headache to have.
On to Chelsea, and look, there were lots of positives for Chelsea. There was, though.
Yes, well, we look at Liverpool and the structure of the balance of the team. And when I say team, that's where I refer to Chelsea. They're not quite a team at this moment in time. You know, you go to Anfield, you need to be brave in some sort of circumstances, and they were very brave here. They actually exposed here 4v3 Liverpool at Anfield. And again, it's asking for danger because you create this much space for Mo Salah to run onto. I would have loved to play like this today. I really would have, because the amount of space now it creates for the other players. And what's really disappointing for Chelsea as well is the recovery runs, the spaces the Liverpool players around them that have. And again, here you see the big spaces in between midfield and the strikers. It's like the two separate teams, this Chelsea sort of set up at this moment in time. And again, here, Liverpool can just play it long. And they're exposed, they're tight, which you need that cover from that centre-half. Second balls, like Rafa was saying there, Curtis Jones picks up the ball. 4v4, this time. But the right pass here that Curtis Jones, he finds. And again, look, this is the situation where they get the penalty. Crowell does sort of lash out, and it's a stone ball penalty for me. Right, again here, this is where we're looking at Chelsea want to sustain attacks. We want to push the back line, up, to sustain those attacks. But again, we're talking about the imbalance in the team. And Nunes, who was fantastic, who came on, he leaves Palmer here. You can just see the distance sort of creates now. Szoboszlai, who again he's just a constant runner, isn't he, Danny? He reminds me of himself, to be honest. But
not quite.
And this is the goal where you see all the Chelsea players, they're all facing the ball. No one's seeing the runners. And Curtis Jones and James wants to play him offside. But you can't. You need to go with the runner and you need the communication. And this is where I want my goalkeeper to be stronger. I need him to come out on this first touch, be brave, be big and strong. And I don't think Sanchez is that type for me. But it's a great goal, well-deserved win for Liverpool. But they're the signs of Chelsea which I feel they need to improve.
It's a balancing act, though, isn't it? And we use the word imbalance and balance a lot, and we will come on to Liverpool's balance in a second. You know, Chelsea will take a lot of positives from their attacking Theo when we look at their numbers today. But it's about how you get all the units to work with the same purpose, which that last clip of saying, well, that back line needs to be another 10 yards further forward so that they keep Liverpool in.
It's like a team of individuals playing to their own strengths. And like we're saying about a team environment, they haven't quite got that yet, I feel. I feel like they're just, at times, doing their jobs, right, and doing my job, but as a team, are you doing a job together? And
very young as well, aren't they? Sometimes you miss that communication, leaders, game management. You need a few of them, and they don't have any.
And players coming from different countries and then playing together, and then I think that will be quite difficult. They can be proud because they were attacking, but we are talking about, my point of view is, if you want to win trophies, you have to keep the balance, and you have to be sure that you are good in defence and also in attack.
And these are very early days in his managership of Chelsea. It's going to take time to get it all together.
Yeah, the point is that you see the stats; they are very good offensively, but are they working in defence? I'm not sure about that.
Right then, all-action midfielder has apparently been billed tonight. Liverpool did have the balance.
They did. They were. They've got a really good shape. They've played the same way since the beginning of the season. Good distances and good variation. So sometimes knowing when to press high and knowing when to drop deep, be more pragmatic and play on the counter, even at home at times today. But most impressive is the mentality to defend for each other when mistakes happen. But there's the shape, the 4-2-3-1, which we've seen Slot play since he's come in. The distances are good. Not as hell to leather in terms of pressing all the time, keeping their counsel, which is fine. But what I love about this is Gravenberch getting back in to double up with Trent. Really difficult to play through when you've got midfielders doing the yards to get back. Kanate spotting the danger. Just an example of the shape early in the game. Jones playing central midfield. Had a job on Palmer a lot of the game, and this is phenomenal play. This is the defensive work you expect midfielders to do. We don't see it every week at some clubs, but you see it under this manager at Liverpool, and that was a really good aspect of his play. This is a mistake from Gravenberch. Now they're on to the Liverpool back four, And occasionally you're going to get it wrong. I think Trent's done really well this season in his one-on-ones, looks much better, much more confident and sharper. Did well against Sancho, I thought, today. Darwin Núñez, look, they're deeper now. His position and the shape of the team allows him to make that 10-yard sprint, to win the ball back and get them out. What a pass from Salah. Nearly get in again there. Here, the press high, different. When you press high, we saw Theo say the Chelsea lads were too deep, not the Liverpool team, right on the halfway line. Canate goes in with the striker. This is another example of a mistake. Gravenberch goes out of position, Szoboszlai's recovery run, the willingness to help his mate out and get back in. And that's the advantage of having a number 10, who's a number 8, really, and brilliant athleticism. Salah, don't see him do this as often. This season, I've seen him do it more than in the last couple of seasons, getting back in, helping his defenders out. So if you've got a mentality where you want to fill in good shape most of the time, it gives you a hell of a chance of winning games, and that's why they've got the best defence in the Premier League.
I can remember as well, Rafa, Andy Robertson a few weeks ago saying, actually, they all felt like they had to prove themselves again when a new manager comes in.
Yeah.
And that actually says a lot about the mentality of the players.
Yeah, especially at his level, that he has to prove again. So normally you say, listen, I was doing this for years, still he has to prove that. That is really good. That means that the competitive mentality and a new manager that wants to win something, and then you can see that they are doing things or they are going in the right direction. So when you have Salah, it was 75 minutes or something like that in the game, coming back to regain the ball to help the defenders, and after he has to go forward and then create the chances of the penalty or whatever, no? So you have all the team together, and don't forget that we have 2 or 3 players coming from the bench that they were in international duties, and they are top-class players also. So I think they have a plan, they have an idea, they have the right mentality, they have confidence, and I think they are doing really well.
At what stage do you start judging them? Slot said don't judge them yet.
When they beat Arsenal next week.
Well, that's waiting for that. Do you get a better idea after they've been to Arsenal next week?
I think, look, they're sitting top of the table right now. Obviously, Arsenal are going to be missing Saliba. But I feel like they're here to stay, aren't they? They are really here to stay. Looks that way, yeah. It really does. I think they've got a good balance like we've been talking about.
OK. Next up, Wolves without a win so far against unbeaten Manchester City at Molineux, the scene of one of just 3 defeats for their champion.
Here's a more persuasive and engaging rewrite in English. I never wanted to swap Chelsea for Liverpool, but I had no choice. Liverpool and Chelsea are set to clash this Sunday, October 20th, at Anfield in the 8th round of the Premier League. While several players have donned both jerseys, one in particular does not see this duality as a privilege. That player is Joe Cole, a former star at Chelsea who made the controversial switch to Liverpool in 2010. Cole candidly admitted that he never wanted to leave Chelsea for the Reds, but circumstances forced his hand. Why Joe Cole left Chelsea? Cole enjoyed 7 successful seasons at Stamford Bridge, winning 3 Premier League titles, 2 FA Cups, and a League Cup. However, when Liverpool came calling in July 2010, he was faced with a difficult decision. After suffering a serious knee injury, Cole found himself out of contract with the Blues, which led to Liverpool offering him a free transfer. I was in talks with Chelsea about extending my contract, but my injury stalled those discussions, Cole explained. He also acknowledged that his ego played a role in his decision to leave a club that no longer wanted to renew his contract. I needed ice on my knee after every game and was in a lot of pain. It's rare to return to your previous form, something clicked in my subconscious, and I thought, I'll never be the player I once was. I have to move on. I didn't want to end my career at Chelsea just sitting on the treatment table. In a recent interview on the Obi-Wan podcast hosted by former Chelsea teammate John Obi Mikel, Cole emphasised, my ego got involved, and football became a struggle. I'd play, and my knee would swell. I couldn't do things I used to take for granted. The move to Liverpool. Cole's time at Liverpool got off to a rocky start, with a red card in his Premier League debut against Arsenal, and injuries continued to plague him throughout his stay. Ultimately, he made just 42 appearances for the Reds before returning to London to join West Ham in January 2013. Looking back, Cole regrets his decision to join Liverpool. He admitted he had other options he preferred, particularly in London. I really wanted to go to Tottenham, and Arsenal was an option, but that didn't materialise. I just couldn't make it happen. It would have made sense. Harry Redknapp was the manager at Tottenham, they had a great team, and I lived in London, with half of my friends being Spurs fans. While he acknowledged that Liverpool is a fantastic club, Cole reflected, it just didn't work out for me. If I could turn back time, I'd probably say, you know what? Wait. I would have gone abroad, somewhere warm, because playing in the heat really would have helped my knee.